Cash is the most important topic of the year. It's the most important thing when you're running a business. So at the moment, we've been getting you to prepare two financial reports. One, the balance sheet, which shows your financial position at the current point in time. And two, the income statement, which shows your financial performance during the current period. So our accounting process or system at the moment is transactions into special journals, into ledgers, into a trial balance, into the financial reports, being a balance sheet and an income statement. So the balance sheet, that was simply your assets, your liabilities, and your owner's equity. And your income statement was your revenues, less your expenses, was your net profit. Obviously, we classified both reports in a little more detail than that, but fundamentally, that's what it's showing us. We do have a bit of a problem though. So in terms of cash, we're not getting enough info from these two reports. So looking at the balance sheet, the only info I have about cash is that $3,000, and that's good to know, but I need much more information. So some of the questions I could have is, cash at bank 3,000, is that good or bad? Well, how much money did I have a year ago? Maybe I had $1 million a year ago, and all of a sudden $3,000 isn't very good. If we had a massive overdraft, so maybe we owed the bank 20 grand and now we've got 3,000, that's probably a good thing. How much cash came in during the current period? I can't tell that from that figure. More importantly, where does my money come from? I've got no idea. Did that money come from sales? Did it come from the bank? Did it come from the owner? I have no idea. And just similarly, how much cash left the business? What did I spend it on? I can't tell from that number. Looking at the income statement, again, I've got some good info. So there is a little bit of info about cash. I can see cash sales there, for example. But, just looking at these items in particular, I don't know anything about them in terms of cash. So, for example, let's look at those credit sales. Have I actually collected them? How much did I get from my debtors? I could have $1 million of credit sales. That's useless if I don't actually get the money. The cartage inwards, well, and the rent and the wages, have I paid those or have they just been incurred? Maybe I owe money for them. I'm going to need to find that money, but I can't tell that from those numbers there. What about GST? So an income statement doesn't record GST. I'm going to need to know how much GST I collected and paid so I can figure out my GST clearing, and I can't tell that. So between the two of them, the balance sheet and the income statement are both kind of useless when it comes to cash. So what we need, or what we first of all need to remember, is that cash is king. You can make a big profit but go bankrupt if cash is not available. Why? Because you need money every day to pay bills, buy stock so you can sell it, repay creditors, and repay loans. Also, you need to buy non-current assets for the future because they help you generate revenue. So I guess what we need is another report that tells us how much cash comes in, how much cash goes out, and how much cash we have, and that's called the cash flow statement. So the role of the cash flow statement is, there's a couple of things. The first thing is it provides information about cash that's simply not in the other reports. So in the balance sheet and income statement, I don't get this information. And the information I actually need are things like how much cash comes in, so cash inflows, and how much cash goes out, the cash outflows. And not just how much, but where does it go and where do I get it from? So a business, when you think about cash inflows, that's the money coming in. Cash outflows are the money leaving the business. So the accounting system now will tweak it slightly. We've got transactions into special journals, into the general ledger, into the trial balance, and then with financial reports, we'll have the balance sheet, we'll have the income statement, but we'll add in a third one called the cash flow statement.